Hello, welcome to Be the Glitter podcast, where we discuss tough topics with giggles and spread inspiration that sticks. So, I am Laura Beck. I am here with Yolanda Brown and Erich Butler. I would love it if you could introduce yourselves, please.
Yolanda, you want to go first?
Okay, sure. Hi, I'm Yolanda Brown. I'm a content writer and editor for gorgeous and delightful and curious entrepreneurs and creative artists. I'm here to sprinkle a couple sentences and joy. Always here to help you rest more, save money, and save time. Thank you.
Love it. And the best co-host slash guest of a podcast ever.
Well, my name is Erich Butler. I am a disability inclusion partner at a nonprofit staffing agency at Peak Performers. And what we do at Peak Performers is we give priority consideration to people with disabilities and chronic medical conditions, veterans, and their family members. And we even the playing field by putting you guys in a professional setting to get these professional jobs that pay very well. Last year, we put over 850 people to work, and the average pay was $35 an hour. So there's no other place like Peak Performers, and I wouldn't want to work anywhere else. I'm an advocate for DE&I, and I love to help. That's what I do. It's in my nature. And also, my parents are veterans, my mom and my dad. So the veteran community holds a very, very, very close state in my heart. And so that's why I'm doing what I do.
Love that. Love you both so much. Thank you so much for being here. So I know a lot of our conversation today is going to be about diversity, equity, and inclusion. And that is such a hot topic right now with some companies and organizations sticking to their DEI initiatives and not letting go out of rebellion, which who knew that that was something to rebel against, and then those who are allowing pressures from above to let them get thrown in the trash. So how is this, what's important about this from your perspective, and how is this affecting both employers and employees? We'll start with you, Erich, because you're dealing with this every day in your staffing agency.
Correct. So DE&I today isn't just about checking boxes for me. Okay. A lot of people and establishments have been using that as such, and that's why they're okay with just throwing it away because they weren't using it the right way to begin with, right? So to me, DE&I today isn't just about checking boxes, you guys. It's about understanding the difference between equity and equality, especially for employees and employers. Now, equality means to me giving everyone the same thing, but equity means giving people what they need to succeed based on their unique circumstances. Now, as someone who cares deeply about fairness, I do believe that employers have to go beyond surface level diversity efforts and actively remove barriers. It's not enough to just say, here's the same opportunity for everyone if the playing field isn't level to begin with, you guys. If it's not level, you can't, it just doesn't make sense, right? So that's big for me. True inclusivity means meeting people where they are, and that's how we create workplaces where everyone can thrive.
100%. Well said, well spoken. I love that. And diversity, Yolanda, like we talk about how the word diversity is a complex one. It's not just only those who are lesbian and gay. It also means those are everybody in the alphabet gang, as you say, right? Like
Yes.
as the intersectionality queen and metaphor queen, I can't wait to hear your answer to this
Yes,
question.
I found that my whole life opened up the more I embraced and integrated my own intersectionalities And I've spent some time as an educator, higher ed, art museums, K-12, and sometimes young people will say, "Hey, Miss Brown, you know I'm autistic." I'm like, "And you have brown eyes." So I said, "You're just like this amalgamation. You're this beautiful tapestry of all these things. I would not be in deep care and love and consent and safety with you if I started pulling your threads and making one thread valuable and another thread not valuable." And so I have always found, I think, learning from nature, that diversity is essential, and
Yeah.
there's strength in that. And we get it's a infinity. The diversity provides us an infinity pool of abundance versus scarcity. It's like a, a math problem that goes into infinity. You
Yeah.
know, that's what I see as a diversity. So I am right with our dear colleague here talking about the difference between equity and difference between equality. And one is more transformational.
Yeah.
Equity is about, to me, about being transformational. And a lot of times the equality is about being transactional. And so often, again, back to scarcity and back to control.
Right.
And there's so, I hate to go back to nature, but it's okay. There's so much to learn. If you watch kids and you pay attention to nature,
Yeah.
it's working.
Yeah.
And you see all these microorganisms, and you see insects and so maybe a mammal and everything in between. They're in accord. They're doing their part. Like you get the flower says, "Hey, bee guy, take some of this pollen, baby." And when
Yeah.
you're flying, it'll just fly off of you and get some places. Then I'll get some new flower cousins. Well, why are humans just so dense and not getting that?
We forgot all about symbiotic relationships.
Yeah, I'm like,
And
rub up against this diversity and get something good. Okay, got me
right.
church rocking now. Let me calm down.
No, I don't want you to calm down. You're awesome as as you can be. Let it all shine. That's why we're here. This is no place to be shy and quiet, okay? Let me just establish that right here. This is a safe place to let it all out here because you're not going to get any judgment from me.
Well, thank you. I didn't know my PBS was coming out. I'm a library PBS kid, and so I was like, I didn't even know I was going to say all that about insects. Okay.
Oh gosh, are you kidding me? My partner is a total mycological nerd. So, I mean, you're talking about even what you can see, hear, and feel above the ground. Once you even take a little peek what's going on underneath the tree and see how um I'm blanking on the word. This is not okay. There is
It's perfect.
mycelium. There's a
Mycelium.
mycelium relationship going on between the trees and insects and mushrooms,
Yeah.
and they have a beautiful symbiotic relationship. Some of it's actually kind of creepy where there's
Yeah, and
like,
they talk about the trees. They're moving and they're talking and they're doing all kinds of things.
yes,
And just a quick
the
aside,
trees help each other.
someone in Britain has set up some sort of system where it's pulling in the data from the tree, and they've done something with AI, and you can talk to the tree. The tree is revealing itself, and people are going up and sitting in this park and talking to this tree.
The
Stop.
Tolkien had something when he was bringing these Ents into humanoid characters that we could better relate to, you know?
Yeah.
Like
And
we
if we were
can,
trying to be flat and not diverse, that moment would have never happened.
right,
It
right.
wouldn't have happened. Our fathers wouldn't have asked our moms, "Hey, can I carry your books?" And then here we come.
Hmm. Hmm.
Diversity.
Yeah. Diversity. And, back to the difference between equality and equity, you know, my partner always uses this example, and I think it's a really good one to help everybody from no matter where they come from better understand the difference. Let's say you're at a track meet and somebody has all of the means to get the best shoes that fit them properly, the transportation to get there on time. They've been working with a personal trainer outside of the coach that came with public high school or whatever. And they get to be there at the starting line as prepared as they can be. And then there's somebody else who is just as talented and athletic and devoted, but they have to take the bus and they have to scrape through around in the couch to get whatever they can get to even pay for the bus fare. Their shoes are from a couple of years ago, so they might even be a little tight. They are not the best quality shoes for them, but that's what they can afford. And one of them even has a broken lace, and it's all they can do to train the best they can, get to the race on time, and run that race with everything they've got against somebody who's had so much privilege and pampering. They're running the same damn race, but it is not an equitable situation. So, in order to make it an equitable situation, somebody would have to help that kid who deserves to be on that starting line at the same time with great shoes and proper training run the same race as the kid who's got all the privilege. That's what the difference is. And I think that's such a great metaphor for the rest of life, right? So it's don't know why I raised my hand by accident there, but yeah, I think that can speak to so many situations. Trans people, um, the immigrants who are here just trying their best. Um, just there's just so many situations. Single moms, um, the list could go on and on and on and on, right? So, um, what are your thoughts when you hear my little slogan I like to say? Like, if you're not in with inclusivity, you're out of touch. This has been hitting some nerves, especially since we've gotten our current administration. Erich, we'll start with you.
That is funny. So okay, so when I hear if you're not in with inclusivity, you're out of touch, that really resonated with me when I read that the other day when you sent it earlier. So to me, inclusivity isn't just a buzzword, right? A lot of people are using it because it's the word to use now, kind of like DE&I was a couple years ago, right? Everybody was
Yeah,
just using it, throwing it everywhere just because, right? I feel the same thing with inclusivity, but I don't feel like they're using it the right way. To me, inclusivity isn't just a buzzword, it's a mindset, okay? It's a commitment to make sure everyone feels seen, everyone is heard, and everyone feels valued. So in today's world, ignoring inclusivity doesn't mean falling behind. To me, it means missing out on the richness of diverse perspectives that drive innovation and connection. That, people
yes,
go into a room and actually think, right? But if you take out that inclusivity and everybody looks the same in that room and is from the same geography and has the same schooling and had the same upbringing, where is the diversity in that? They're all going to come out with the same outcome, right? We need this inclusivity to make sure everyone first feels included, everybody's mindset is able to be heard, and it just makes a big difference. I believe that whether in leadership, teamwork, or everyday interactions, embracing inclusivity isn't optional, it's essential, you guys. And
absolutely
honestly,
essential.
I wouldn't want it to live any other way. I wouldn't want to live any other way. I wouldn't want it any other way.
100%. Love that
That's
so much.
publishable. That's
Yeah.
new policy. That
See?
postcard to all the legislative stakeholders.
Exactly. Mhm,
Right. And I think there has to be so much recognition that comes with inclusivity.
mhm.
And what's the opposite of inclusivity is exclusivity, right? So what is the benefit to excluding other people if not just for greed and power? There's no other benefit. And by embracing and living inclusivity, you really are creating a more high quality life with more realistic perspectives and considerations for humankind. But I'm Yolanda, bring us back to giggles because we're supposed to be giggling.
Well, I'm just so taken about it because the word in is there.
Yeah.
So it seems easy to me. Let me in.
Yeah.
What's going on in here? And
am I safe?
Yes,
you know?
Right. Again, always safety and consent. Is that in here? And people want to belong. They talk about the statistic of the major illness is, it's not deemed medical, but they're saying the major illness in the North America is loneliness. And it's because people don't seem to have a sense of belonging. Like, I don't belong anywhere, or in there compartmentalizing their being, and they're disembodied. Can you imagine? You're not even in your body because of these systems.
Yeah.
And so what if you're spending the bulk of your day outside of your family home or away from your partner, and you're in these environments where you don't belong? Everything about that space and the structures is telling you you're not in. And I've really two things that I'm wildly curious about all the time is customer service. Well, three. I love customer service stuff. I love leadership stuff, and I love packaging. And yeah, I love a good package. And I whispered it because it's hot.
I want to scare it away. Don't scare away the packaging.
So back to customer service and leadership. Leaders would have I think you have that inclusivity, and I'm sure it's at peak performers because they have a love ethos. And so if you don't have that, you have to nurture that. So it can be an inclusive, safe, and consensual space. So often people are in workplaces or organizations or places, faith, or even civic and volunteer spaces, and there's no consent there. Folks are just willy-nilly in it. Oh, I'm sorry, Maria. I had no idea. Well, it's simple to ask Maria what her pronouns are.
Right.
It's so simple.
Yeah.
Right? It's so simple to say, this is the salary we're offering. How does this stack up with our benefits and your needs? Instead of having that silly question on the thing, like that's a trick bag. That's a Trojan horse, because you're trying to see how much you can't pay a person. Not inclusive.
Right.
Not being inclusive. So our dear brother has said what he said, and I'm going to go with what was said from this day forward. I'm not changing it. I don't have a tattoo, but I will entertain that phrase as a tattoo.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm not a pick-me girl, but I want to be in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I want to be in. I'm a divine human being, and am not broken. There's nothing to fix. We are already, all of us are already in. It's the remembering that we're in. A lot of this language is about because people have forgotten. We came here complete, ready, and all we were going to do here is elevate and expand. That's all we were going to do here.
I remember.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
No, then it was all this flat, sheepy stuff. Rebuke. I'm an old Baptist, not current. Old Baptist. Rebuke, honey. Rebuke. Rebuke, deny, resist, divest, veto. I hope I bought the giggles. There you have it.
You did.
You did.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
We didn't start out that way.
Yeah. And to Yolanda's point as well, I think just as much as it's important for employers to go ahead and recognize inclusivity, it's also an individual acceptance as well, right? You have
Yes.
to be aware of what you're trying to be included in. And not every environment is for us, right?
Right.
So if
Yes.
you, so the, I think, okay, it is an employer's big, the employer has a big thing to do with that, but it's also us. And you have to do
Yes.
self-reflection because not every environment is for us. So we
Right.
may not want to be included, and that's
Right.
okay. That
Right.
is okay,
We
you
don't
know?
have to be subjected to a toxic environment or to something that's way outside of our comfort zone, or where we don't feel safe, or we just don't feel like we can contribute. The long list, right? We don't have to. And we get to give ourselves permission to find the right environment with the right people doing the right things and not just chasing the dollar, chasing opportunity and happiness and safety and growth and all the good things. Good energy. What's wrong with that, right? So, um, that's the other thing I think that we get wrong about work. It shouldn't have to hurt. Like this, you're not going to get anywhere unless it's painful and you suffer through it. It's like,
And
isn't
that's
there
on a
another way?
spectrum. That's on a spectrum too, as well, right, Laura? Like we all have our breaking point where not everything is going to be fluffy bunnies and hi and how are you every single day.
Right,
Not
of
a
course.
relationship, not a job, not a friendship, right? So there's going to be those sticky times and those sticky moments. That's okay. But it's going to be on you to evaluate if that sticky time and that sticky moment is okay for you to say, okay, I can get over this or no, this is something that I cannot deal with, right? And it's going to start affecting your work and affecting your friendships down the line. So it's awareness as well, right? You got to be aware of what you're doing and who's around you and the job and is it right for you?
And like Yolanda said, like, where do you belong? And
Yeah.
where do you feel like you can belong? And that touches on mental health. And the more we talk about how important it is to assess and work on and improve mental health, acknowledge mental health, make space and time for mental health, the benefits again are astounding for everybody. It should not be a taboo thing. It should not be something that is excluded from the overall report card for health or, what makes you uh, an employee that is talented and can be recruitable and retainable. Like we want you to stay here for years and find places. You can't expect somebody to climb your ladder if they're going to be more and more mentally ill the longer they stay in your organization. So there's just all of that makes a healthy environment, right, Yolanda? And this is why she likes to find rest for people because she's a big advocate of rest, right?
Yes. Oh, golly. So many beautiful nuggets. I just had to just go and just do a gratitude hug with myself. I was like, oh, so happy just to hear everything that you all are pouring into this space. And yes,
So
I
how
just
can
had to
we
write. I had to write down mental health should not be a taboo. Yeah, people should come with
yeah.
their full spectral being. That you're a kaleidoscope, so all of it should come into the space, and then there should be deep care and humanity for you in these spaces because it's to the benefit. If you're in a partnership, a loving, intimate, erotic, romantic partnership, it's to the benefit of the other person.
Yeah.
And when we show up in our workplaces or where we volunteer or give some kind of service to the community, that should be there in those spaces too.
Yeah.
Because I don't know that people have junk drawers in their kitchen and stuff, but you don't have a drawer to put all these parts of you so you can go work at the food bank for 3 hours on Saturday. Or you can go and do the team building exercise on Friday when we get tacos.
Right.
You know?
Or that big presentation that your entire reputation is riding on,
Absolutely.
you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
The trauma, I am a person that I have my business, but I'm also looking to take on 1 to 2 remote gigs. And so I'm very careful about culture in places because workplaces have been a source of trauma for me. And one of the places I worked, I was bullied by my new boss. I'd been at that school longer than he had been. It was his first year. I didn't know, but the way I thought I was processing everything calmly, but I ended up having a stroke. I developed stress-induced hypertension and had a stroke, and didn't teach for 5 years. So you don't know what where there's no equity or equality or inclusion in spaces. And if there's, it's like a lot of capitalist mandate and that sort of thing, and no belonging, it could have a ripple effect on the stakeholders who are your team. And if they're being derided and they're being energetically and mentally eroded, that's the ripple effect affects your brand performance. The quality of your team, the quality of your brand goes down, the quality of service for these beautiful patrons that you cultivated a relationship with. So it's a benefit holistically that we're always doing our best and knowing that everybody's doing their best. That's the other blind spot we have. I so love, Erich, when you say, we don't need to be everywhere.
Right.
And we don't fit everywhere. And it's okay.
Yes.
And when we get there and we show you showing out and it's not for us, we should no longer have guilt about what I call it is we show up with our ball of marbles. Again, I'm from the analog generation. We had marbles and jacks and bolo bats and
they
all
were like currency, for kids. Yeah.
Totally. And we should be able to take our jar of marbles and go play somewhere else.
Yeah.
And feel okay about it. Not
yes. And not have to
that's the main thing. Carry that baggage with you to the next place. You feel okay.
No, you're not renting no storage space for it. You're not paying no copay to go talk to you're good therapist about it. You're not getting 6 more cocktails because you're like, listen, I'm soothing the beast with this root beer infused cocktail, So I feel like people know what to do because they know what. So there's a thing, real briefly. You could want something, and a lot of time wanting something drives your anxiety up. But if you think about what does it feel to have something, it takes you to another place.
Yeah.
So if people were moving into organizations and into intimate and a platonic relationship, and they knew that they had what they wanted, things would change, buddy. Mm-hmm. And I think we're beyond the precipice of the change. The empire's dead. Like, why are we talking about it?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a fan of the news. I mean, that already happened. What am I going to look at that for? So it's already happened. We already put the compost down. We picked the best heirloom seeds. We don't have to replicate what was there. It's a new frontier.
Yeah.
And it's zero sum. If this is not there, we're not there. Mm-hmm. And I think the other thing that Erich has brought to us is you're not going to miss nothing. You didn't like none of that stuff anyway.
Right. 100%.
And the worst, and I always say the worst things already happened.
And don't you think it's because of money? If we're putting ourselves purposefully in a place where we know we're feeling pain, we're getting judged, we might even be getting bullied, but it's because of the pay. Mm-hmm. It's because of the income that you get from it. Then, that's quite a sacrifice, right? And for what? And one of my lovely people in my life said, we weren't put on this earth for money. What are we doing here if not to just absolutely enjoy this life that we get to live with, the birds and the trees and fellow human beings, So if we don't make it about money, our decision making can be so much more peaceful and not so harmful. Easier said than done, I
And
know,
I'm
but
I was
excited
just
about
about
it.
to say that, Laura. Easier said than done, for
yeah,
real. In a world that is everything is off the bottom dollar, everything.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? It's hard not to focus on that. And just to your point, people can stay in toxic environments for many different reasons, but at the end of the day, it more than likely boils down to money, whether it's because they need money for medicine, whether it's because they have a family and they can't afford not to work and find something else, that downtime, whatever it is, the bottom line is probably money.
yep.
Um, so,
And I think that money should not be an excuse to exclude people.
oh
And I
no.
don't think that money should be a reason to treat people poorly. And, like I recently found out somebody who I used to hold in high esteem is actually a terrible person. And um, they think that they're a great person because of, traditional standards of um, where they've put themselves on a pedestal. But when you look at how they treat people, it's just like, wow, this is somebody to let go. Let them go. And um, I don't have to measure my success as a person with theirs. Um, but people do cling to certain people, because of the money that they've acquired or whatever status that they have established. And, I'm just trying to give people permission to let go of those people too. And that we get to make a gratitude list for what is working, what is good in their life, who are the good people in our lives. And through that, from this position that they're in just for making ends meet, maybe discover and seek opportunities that still give them enough, but provide them a safer place to be. Because there are so many opportunities out there. It's just how are you going to go about it and who's going to help you get there?
And that's why I
Because
was
we
so
don't have to do it
excited
ourselves.
to
Go
be
ahead.
here with Erich because the brand you're with, you're revisiting work.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it's a more emergent, inclusive, humane systems on how to do that. And I think that is the other thing. You're going to have more peak performers out in the world, brands like that, changing the discourse, giving a new model.
Yeah.
Because they always say sometimes you need to see something to be something. And so I think that's why I was saying this is a grand time. I know things feel like they're burned to the ground. Oh, I mean, it's like a chaos symphony.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But at the same time, if you like you ever notice like a kid, a little toddler person, maybe still in diapers or something, or a little cat or dog, like sometimes they just turn away from a thing and they find a spot in the sun and they lie down and they turn their belly up and the sun hits it, or they had enough food or they had enough play and they rest and they turn away from something and then they get up and then they create a whole new thing. So I think that's what's happening too in like kind of granular ways and grand ways. People are turning away from a thing that did not serve them and it kept harming them. And they're going, you know what? I'm going to just work 4 days a week. I can get as much done in 4 days as I got done in six.
Or
And I'm
reach
going
out to somebody like Erich
to,
or somebody else, like you, Yolanda, or somebody who gives them inspiration and, thinks outside the box. It's like, okay, I am working at McDonald's. It's something for now, but I know that this is not where I want to be always. Can you help me? Let's talk about this. Let's, and go to, another conversation with somebody else. Like, can we just take a virtual coffee? That would just be so much I'll be at the library, I'll have headphones on, and it's a free place for me to get internet, but I gotta do what I can to talk to people to get me out of the situation and somewhere better. And we don't have to do it alone, right? We can help each other.
And
No.
that shifts it from the being money driven to be purpose driven.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know we need to wrap up. I think we've had a really amazing conversation, if I do say so myself. I want to give you all a chance to give a little glitter out there. If you have one gold nugget to share yet, or if you'd rather give some gratitude to somebody, and why they are getting that gratitude from you, I'd love to give us space to say that.
Okay. Well, my sparkle that I would like to share would just be some pieces of information that whoever's listening to this podcast can take with them on their journeys of life, of wherever that leads them, and share with the people that are around them too, because you never know who may need to hear what you have to say or offer. Okay. So my first thing is going to be you are capable of much more than you think. You are capable. Whoever needs to hear this, you are capable of much more than you think. And also, your voice matters. So remember that your voice matters. So make sure you're using it, even if it shakes a little, even if you feel like you say the wrong thing, even if it came out the wrong way. Use your voice for good. Use it, it matters. And then lastly, small kindnesses to you may be huge kindnesses to somebody else. So something so small to you that you feel like, well, I just did da 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 da. That kindness may mean the world to who's ever receiving that kindness. So just spread some of your kindness and some of your sprinkle and some of your glitter around, like me, Yolanda, and Laura is doing now, and how we do day to day.
Beautiful.
Thank you. I meant that though. I think
I
somebody really
know.
needed to hear that.
Mm.
So hopefully it resonates as it felt good for me saying it. So
Oh, golly.
I
Yes.
can feel it.
My dendrites are popping. Oh, what a luscious being you are.
Right?
Oh, oh,
Oh,
my eyes are all watery. It's the allergies. Stop.
see, Eric.
Yeah. I know how these people be feeling at the Beyonce concerts. Like, I get it now. I get it. I just needed to get here with Eric.
oh man, thank y'all.
Holy macaroni. Well, on the heel of the glorious commentary, just offer my glitter is a couple things, simple. Mostly your peace, pleasure, rest, and freedom are your birthright. It's not negotiable. It's already yours. It's been prepared for you before you came. It's yours now. It's accessible. It's abundant. It never ends. And rest in that. Center and ground yourself in that. Don't negotiate. Don't
Yep.
negotiate with it. And I am just getting into a new book. I'm a library kid, library, art museum, kind of PBS kid forevermore, and I am exploring again the book Loving Corrections by Adrienne Marie Brown. Yes, I fangirl her a lot, but it's a great book about holding power, righting the wrongs, um, generating new truths and ways of being with one another, and really speaks to a lot of what we talked about today. Like, what are these patterns and codes where we find ourselves locked into limited thinking? And how can we, the book also allows us to kind of explore how can we reimagine ourselves, reimagine our community, set clearer boundaries, and engage in ways that where there's more luscious equity, equality, and inclusion. And one of the things that I find in this book, and one reason I'm bringing it up, is it calls us to reflect. And I often offer books as a way to get into conversation on something that people may think is gnarly or difficult or dense or unfamiliar. Because something I find is people don't fight with books. They'll fight with you, but they don't often fight with a book. And so the books can be, I say that the book can be a portal.
Yeah.
It's not judging, it's inviting. And so maybe pick up this book or the audio book or something like that. It's called Loving Corrections, Adrienne Maree Brown. And
Love it.
and to end, you are enough. You always been enough.
Yeah. Yeah. And to add to that, I would say what somebody told me, and it's something I have to remind myself often, believe it or not, is dare to be brave. Dare to be brave. We have this, in my belief, one precious life to live, or at least maybe we've got another one, but while we're here on this earth, why not give it what you can? Whatever that is. Brave loving yourself. Dare to love yourself before you love somebody else. Dare to do what you need for your heart. Dare to switch around your people around you, your relationship solar system, as I call it, and push those toxic planets far, far away and invite in the energy that you need, because you don't have to do this alone, but dare to be brave to do it. Yeah. So again, real quick, what do you need, from whom, and how should people reach you?
Come on, Eric.
For me, I don't need anything from you all. The only thing I would need is if you guys are looking for work or you need some resume review or you just need somebody to talk to and you're frustrated, reach out to me. You can reach out to me on my email is Erich, ERICH .Butler, BUTLER at peakperformers.org. Or I am always on LinkedIn. You can definitely find me just Erich, ERICH Butler, BUTLER. And that's another quick way for me to reach out. I'm always posting good, inspirational job seeker tips and anything that's going on, just little tidbits that may help you out if you are frustrated looking for a job or don't know where to go with the resume creation or just need somebody to talk to because you're frustrated. I'm here for you all.
Love it.
I love
Yolanda.
that too. Well, I am most often where I engage is on LinkedIn. So you put in the LinkedIn address and you type in Creative Brown, Creative Brown. And on all the other platforms, CopyWrite Brown, CopyWrite And I'm just a click away and a call away. When you're looking for clarity and a little capacity building, I'm your ally and your partner. And I'm taking bookings right now for Q3 and Q4. It's going to be an exciting Q4. Why not get everything done now so you can luxuriate when the third quarter comes and you just slide into fourth quarter and everything is on autopilot and you can enjoy your family and your friends. And on a personal side, I am set up a 1-year plan to visit and explore and support with my services intentional communities, co-housing communities, small farms, and people doing artisan food. So I want to come to your community. I want to learn from you. I want to give you a little bit of my sweat equity to help you do whatever you're doing. And we'll write a blog maybe. Maybe we'll help you repurpose some content you already have. So that's what I'm looking for. A good farm, a good small farm, a great co-housing community. Invite me. I'm fine.
Love it.
I know how to iron and I do my own dishes.
And you know how to make 4-cheese mac and cheese.
Yes. 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 So when are we having the Bee Glitter cruise, the Bee Glitter sleepover?
Yeah, I will have to work on that with this new friend of mine who owns a glamping camp business. Yes. So she sets it all up. You can have a real bed,
Mm.
mid-century modern furniture,
Running
rugs on the
water,
ground. Yeah.
running water.
Oh yeah.
Yes, child.
She gets it
This is
all
made for us, Eric.
set up.
This is made for us.
That's all I need is running water and a bed. I'm good.
Uh-huh. A real bed, but
Mhm.
in a gorgeous tent that they set up. You don't have to do it. They set up and they break down.
I was born
Like
for this.
total glamping.
In my mind, I'm Quincy Jones. Drive me places. I totally am. People say, "What?" I was like, "Honey, I am Quincy Jones. I'm not driving."
And we'll have inspiration from our little retreat that sticks to us like glitter for
There
years
you
and
have
years.
it. No, this is a movement. This is a whole thing. This is a whole thing. This ain't no
Yeah.
pet rock, honey. This is big. This like Michelle Obama doing the fan dance. This is big.
I couldn't believe that.
Go, Michelle.
Everybody is on that fan dance. I done seen her. Who's the other one that was going up with she was going up for presidency, the lady?
Oh,
Mala
Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris. I saw her. Did you see her doing it too?
Mm-hmm.
or
I
Kamala.
was
Did
like,
I
oh,
say Kamala? Kamala. Why did I say
Kamala.
it wrong?
Kamala.
Kamala.
Yeah.
I need more coffee.
But yeah, that's the other thing. I don't know if this will be in your episode, but that's the other thing. That is that's an example of people turning away and turning to joy and turning to possibility and a knowingness like it's already all right. So much so that I'm so regulated in my body, I'm going to dance. Let me make another version of this birthday song. And that is one of the reasons some people are teed up. How dare you be joyful? Do you know what we're doing to you? I know what you're doing to you.
Right.
There ain't gonna be nobody that does none of the stuff that you do not do.
What
because
you're doing to
we
yourself.
have turned away.
Yes.
Yep.
You're doing it to yourself. Right.
And the quote is, get somebody else to do it.
Yes.
My lady friend said, every act of pleasure and, what was it? Pleasure and joy. Every act of pleasure and joy is an act of rebellion right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And it's kind of like what you're talking about,
every nap you take.
Every nap you take, every dance you shake, every vibe you make, every nap you take, we will empower you, not watch you like a stalker. Oh my God, that song is not okay anymore, Sting.
Oh, that's what happens in the Be Glitter. This doesn't happen everywhere. This does not happen everywhere.
Well, I love you. I love you. I love you so much. All of you, all of us. And I look forward to more collaborations in the future.
Definitely.
Yes, yes.